I'm Barbara Ault, or Joe Ault as I prefer to be called, and my title is The World of Uncertainty or Change. The writings that I chose were The Letter, The Sound of Sense by Robert Frost, The Age of Anxiety, The Military-Industrial Complex, The Times, They Are Changing, and The Pedestrian. Uh-oh. It's not cooperating with me. And what I would like to present to you today is how America has gone through change of growing pains, and throughout the modernism and the postmodernism eras, life as people knew it went through many transitions. This involved everything from music to industry to poetry and to warfare. The events occurred from the early to mid 1900s, presented many ups and downs, and the strength of our nation was the only thing that brought us through and landed us on our feet. Change is unavoidable, and it will always be. Therefore, we must muster up the inner strength and unity to face the future of our world today, for it will not be the same 20 years from now. The first one, The Sound of Sense, was written by Robert Frost, and he wrote it to John Bartlett, and he was speaking about the humdrum life of the poetry and how they had just done the same thing over and over again, and what he wanted was what he called the sound of sense. And what that really was, I really couldn't tell you. But it led the way into many new and experimental ways of writing poetry for many other poets. And the letter describes the beginning of the transformation to poetry in verse, and how the overused methods used to write were no longer effective and bored the readers, made them fall asleep. The next one I'd like to use is The Age of Anxiety. This one, though it is written in 1947 originally, Auden gave the name to the Milice. But this carried over to the carried over after post-World War II generation, and this generation was seeking themselves and God and a purpose for their life, and the purpose they found was the beat of life. Therefore, the Beat Generation is what they were called. And this was a great time of protesting and rebellion toward all. Even though there was a period of wartime peace, there was upheaval among the natives. This choice of literature speaks of the change in people, their values, and their purpose. They no longer wanted to be under the restraints of tradition and their ancestors. Individuals that were seeking out their own way and their own method of expression. And now we have Dwight D. Eisenhower, The Military-Industrial Complex. This is part of his, part of his farewell address, and very clearly states the turmoil America was experiencing at this time. Americans were being plunged into a new world of weaponry and warfare. This writing explicitly presents the fact that the United States has entered into a new realm of military awareness and urgency. Eisenhower implied, or should I say clearly, stated that technological advances were the mainstream behind all the changes. But he also placed the government right into the middle of it. And all throughout his speech, you could hear a lingering fear of what the future held. The piece shows a president almost in mourning over the post-war and what laid ahead because of the past and the future war involvement. He was very concerned about the rapid technology that has plunged America into nuclear warfare. And what changes did the future hold? He didn't know. He was fearful of that. And this is my star product, or my star piece that I based it all around. Bob Dylan was a statement of transformation of people, warfare, music, lyrics, and life itself. It was written in the song, "The Times They Are A-Changin'," was written in 1962, and he took his rebellion to life and how he felt about life itself and put it into lyrics of all his songs. And as I said, this is my star piece, and it speaks of the total confusion and churning of the times. Its title says it all. The parents were confused, and the children were just headed their own way and wanted to do their own thing. The political realm was in a mess, and the silent but emerging rebellion toward the government as a whole was coming to a head. This was an age of individualism. And I also chose Ray Bradbury, the pedestrian. This man was a man of habit. He took a walk regularly, but he also walked into the future. He saw a glimpse of what our future holds. And taking this daily stroll each day, he ran into the coldness and the unfeeling soulless mechanical existence that was then, as it was set in the future, telling us what our future is going to be like and how cold and unfeeling our future will be and mechanical. This final piece has an insight into our future with the changes that are occurring now. Technology is moving so rapidly now that people are being taken over by computers. This is very evident in many instances, such as the phones. We no longer have a person answering the phone, but we have a machine answering it. And a world of loneliness and lack of identity lays ahead. And all of these writings are histories of how this world got to its present state. Yes, there will always be change, but will it always be for the better? As we continue on the ride of progress, we and our children shall see exactly what the future holds in store for America. Personally, I really have no interest in sticking around and finding out the results of our present day issues and changes. Thank you.